the City. What is going on, St. Louis City fans? Welcome back to another episode of Soul of the City, brought to you by First Touch Media. We have just re-arrived in the beautiful city of St. Louis after a long, drawn-out parking lot fiesta in KCK, where St. Louis City were defeated 2-1 in what will surely be the most controversial match I think St. Louis City has played this season. 2-1 was the final. Could have been 2-2. Should have been 2-2. Guys, what did you think of the whole? Obviously, we were in KCK, all three of us.
Should have been 3-1.
For us?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw some refereeing decisions that didn't go our way. Berkey put his body and heart on the line and was left out to dry by his defenders. Yeah, it was. I mean, we saw the KC fans celebrating as if, they had just won the MLS Cup, but, as of right now, they're not even going to the playoffs.
Let's get into that. So this is a normal season game in which the first place team is playing the 12th place team, and we show up to Kansas, not Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas.
KCK.
Yeah, and we get to the stadium and we get in our seats, and before you know it, the Kansas City team is wheeling out every trophy that they've ever won in their entire history. Probably the only time they've done this during the season. Don't really know why. I guess because we're rivals.
They had flags that said the real, just soccer capital of America.
No, they said real.
The real soccer capital.
Didn't they?
I don't remember. I thought maybe it just said soccer capital.
Yeah,
but
they were definitely laying their claim to soccer capital title, but...
And it was cringe, to say the least, especially from the 12th place spot, especially when our team has more open cups than they do, and they wheeled out every
single... Not our team, our city.
Our city, sorry. Our city.
We don't... I mean, and that's always going to be the thing that SKC will say is, oh, you guys don't have any trophies. Hey. But it's like, in reality, this whole argument of, these open cups that you guys won back in the early 1900s don't mean anything because it happened so long ago. You can't name any of these players. But it's like, this is the most historic soccer tournament in the U.S. So it's like, why are you going to demean the history behind this trophy? It's so dumb.
And not only that, but if you're going to do that, then be prepared for us to be like, you guys won trophies during a time where the MLS was much more garbage.
Yeah.
And not only that, you won in 2012, and I can name one player from your team that played.
And one of the other arguments is like, Kansas City was instrumental in growing the league. Growing the league to what? to a place where the MLS can't even draw lines to call offsides? Like, wow, you really got it into great shape for us to come into it. It's just disgusting.
It's weird. It was just weird. I mean, we were pretty tame as fans there, and
we weren't yelling obscenities. We were talking a little smack, though, I would say.
But it felt a little bit like pre-obsession with us when we don't really care about them. I mean, we can call it a rivalry for now. You guys can have this 2-1 bullshit
We're
victory.
still winning on aggregate score.
Yeah.
Big time.
And
as
we
scored
things
in their
move
home
forward, your ownership is dog shit. You're going in the wrong direction. You have a 34-year-old Graham Zusi still playing for your team, reminiscent of 2012. We're in the playoffs. You're fighting for 11th. I'm not too pressed. I'm more pressed about the officiating and the need for a jump in that direction, a jump in professionalism and not just money-making, a jump into, I don't know, man. That was just terrible to
Yeah.
watch.
I mean, I think maybe before we get into the refereeing decisions that didn't go our way, there was something else that we kind of had a gripe with, which was Carnell's lineup that
our
he put
own
out.
team.
Yeah.
So I think that's like, I think it's kind of 50-50 what's to blame.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we saw Carnell start a not second-tier lineup, but
not the
definitely
strongest.
not full strength.
And it's not the first time that we've come to a point in our season where it feels like all of the fans understand that it's a must-win game that will cement a certain dominance over other people, and Carnell has come out and not backed up the fans. I mean, we had the stadium halfway packed with St. Louis fans,
Yeah.
and Carnell seemed to not understand the meaning of what 10,000 people driving 3.5 hours to spend their fucking hard-earned money to see you put out Ostrak and Stroud in the starting lineup.
What I will say is I think the even bigger gripe, like Stroud, we talk about it all the time. I think he does have a place. I think Carnell does see the value, and yeah, he's a momentum killer, but there is a little more value, and just because he's been solidified, right? The players know kind of how to play around him, how he wants to play. The bigger gripe is, yes, Ostrak over AZ, which makes zero sense to me. I cannot believe that Ostrak is outperforming him in practice. I can't believe that the decision was to start him at cam. That's why he was subbed off at half. It was because he was deliriously dribbling into Kansas City players constantly on breaks. It was just disgusting
This
to
is
watch.
why players leave.
And starting Kyle Hebert for the first time at right back. And we see it in Kansas City's first goal where he's drawn to the middle because he's never played right back.
He's a center back.
You know,
not only that. I mean, AZ has been looking solid.
Yes.
I mean, Akil Watts has been looking solid.
Yep.
You had the opportunity to rest our star players a game before our only solid rivalry, getting the sweep on the team if we could, doing the double in their own home with half your fans. You had that opportunity.
Yep.
It's somehow worse than his decision against LAFC. Somehow.
I will say, though, like, on the other side of the coin,
No,
I mean, it is.
no other
If you
coin.
think
Let
about
him
it,
cook.
If you think about it, FC Dallas is a much stronger side than Kansas City.
Yeah.
And, you know, putting our strongest 11 against Dallas and giving us a chance to beat them, like, kind of lends itself to the idea that, okay, fine, if we're not going to rotate that game, then we're going to rotate the next game. Because it's true, Leuven did play 2 90-minute games in, like, 4 days. So, you know, a third one in a 7-day period would be a lot to ask. So I kind of get it from that perspective. Like, you know, Sporting KC is not that good. We could probably beat them on any given day with a couple rotated players. And I think that, you know, you do kind of have to trust your depth at some points in the season. And unfortunately, it didn't work out this game. I think the refs were more to blame than Carnell, to tell you the truth.
I think that game is a lot different if Leuven starts. If he's pulling the strings the whole time.
I think so too. And it's like,
I mean, as soon as he came on, we started. That whole second half felt like we were about to score, and every time we got momentum, it felt like the ref pulled it away from us. And I'm sorry, I'll take an L to Dallas if it means getting a win away against your biggest rival this close to the playoffs, a momentous win that adds fire to your fans and to your team. That means more to the city and the people that traveled. It means more. It should mean more to the players. I mean, watching the game, it did mean more to the players. They were angry the entire time. It was just rough.
it was rough. And you could see it in the second half once Leuven and Klaus came on, and Alm as well, that there was no connection, that they were upset with each other.
Yep.
Their decision-making wasn't in the right place. And it was upsetting. And I don't want to see the team like that. I want to see it to where, you know, there's a lineup that's been created. Everyone knows how they want to play with each other, play off each other. and we're unable to build it because we just keep rotating constantly. And I like that we rotate constantly. I do like the next man up mentality. But as we're approaching the postseason, we're going to need to – everyone's going to have to be on the same level and going to have to be connected to each other beyond, personal grievances. They need to be on the field together constantly.
And if we're going to want to compete in the postseason, we're going to need to get our main men going. We're going to need to get Klaus going. We're going to need to get Gio back into it. Honestly, Klaus looked like he was doing too much a little bit.
A little bit. He was
He
playing
only
fancy.
came on at the half, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we just want to break down Casey's I guess we can break down Adeniran's goal since we scored first in this game.
Yeah.
I thought it was over after that.
I was hype.
I thought we were about to destroy them.
Normally when we score first, we kind of open the floodgates on teams.
Yep.
But, we just
not
didn't
in the
have
refs' plans for the night.
It wasn't in the script written by the MLS.
Yep.
Que miras, Bobo.
Fuck you, Don Garber.
Fuck you, Messi.
Indiana Vasiliev picks up the ball in the midfield and just plays a beautifully weighted long ball into Adeniran, who's kind of running down the left side of the field. And it's just him and, 3 Kansas City defenders. They show him to the outside, and he's, in the box at this point with the ball, and he kind of puts it on his left foot. He doesn't really have a great angle, but he just still blasts it bottom right corner, far post.
He's got a magic
Smashed.
left foot.
Yeah, it was
Absolutely
a great
smashed.
finish.
I'd
Very
be cool
impressive.
with having him on the left wing. For real.
Well, yeah.
He's so fast and strong.
And he works defensively,
Yeah.
too.
Not that Thor is a bad option, but damn, when he cuts in on his left, that outside curl that he had against Austin.
I feel like he kind of hit the ball the same way on this goal a little bit.
Yeah. Or maybe we put him out on the right wing. There you go, Ricky. There's your left-footed right winger.
Well, we're going to get to the second half substitutions, and I'll have even more gripes with Carnell, but
Gripes with God.
yeah. Things move on, and Casey are kind of earning their way back into this game. We kind of give them a lot of space, give them a lot of time. The Kansas City first goal, the ball was kind of trickling around with Tommy at the top of the box, and you can kind of see all of our defense condensed to the top of the key. Kyle Hebert is included there. He's playing right back, which he's never done before, and so he, Parker's in front of it already. Nielsen's in front of it already. Hebert steps over and leaves Saloy alone on the left. A little dink pass over the top to him and then back into Alan Pulido. Taps it
looked
in.
crazy good.
His hold-up play was pretty brilliant.
Yeah, but we were kind of thinking from our seats that it was offsides. And when we went back to watch the highlights, it still looked offsides. I don't understand why they didn't call it.
Because they don't draw lines.
Yeah, they didn't draw lines in the replay analysis
they don't go
or the
look
live
at
screen
the VAR.
analysis.
Yeah.
I think they looked at the VAR, but they ruled it was onside. But then when we drew the lines, ourselves, it looked like it was so clearly offsides, which maybe we're just biased.
And so I, of course, went to @ProRefs on Twitter to go find the name of the line judge who was on that side responsible for all the offsides calls.
She had a horrible night.
She had a disaster class evening because the fact that she called these tight offsides in the second half against Adeniran's goal and against Jared Stroud, she called both of those extremely tight decisions offsides, but then let this one run, and it just doesn't make any sense why she's calling offsides there. It blows my mind.
They're taking home field advantage to the extreme. This ref, the main ref as well, seemed like even when he did go look at it, he was like, "Yeah, I'll go look at it, but it's not going to change my mind."
Yeah.
It's just,
He was letting everything run way too much as well, both in Kansas City and St. Louis's
then
direction.
would call back a goal in a tight decision.
What? And I thought the rule, and I know it's supposed to be this way in the Premier League, is that if it's tight, do not raise your flag and let the VAR look at it.
Unless
Why
you're
is she
100% sure.
Why is she raising her flag there on something that tight? And when you
There's
go and
no
draw,
way she's that certain about that situation.
and we are kind of bouncing around because this Adeniran second goal that should have stood is in the second half. I mean,
It's been a long weekend.
Yeah, Pulido's second. I'm trying to reconcile.
Yeah, we should have hunkered down and gotten to half 1-1. That would have been ideal. But we didn't because I feel like we got a little emotional. I think our players started letting the emotions get the better of them in a lot of ways. They were bitching at the refs a lot for good reason, but at some point you just got to accept that it's going to be one of those nights and do what you can.
I'm going to remember that next time we're playing Veta.
Veta's
and you're
different.
bitching at
No,
the
I'm not.
Yeah, hey, true
I'm
enough.
not getting paid. I'm paying. And if I'm paying,
It better
I'm
be good.
abusing.
I'm abusing the
The
referee.
referee.
Great. That's wonderful. I'm sure our fans really enjoy hearing that.
Yeah, but anyway, their second
Shout out
goal.
Veta.
Their second goal came from a Johnny Russell driving down the right side, and Adeniran somehow was the defender closing him down. And he does what he can. He sprints back. He gets a good initial challenge to slow him down, but he kind of overruns the ball. And then it's just like Johnny Russell has an open path into the box, and he just dribbles to the goal line. And he cuts it back to the penalty spot where Alan Pulido is waiting patiently, and he taps it in again for a second.
Yeah.
So,
It
good
was
pass.
Yeah, Mark
goal.
Hannick is drawn out by Davis, and Adeniran's the only man even within any kind of remote distance, which is a sore sight. Wasn't sure where Thor was on that chance, but
Yeah.
you'd expect him to cover. It just sucks, man.
Sometimes with him, I feel like maybe more tried and true options should be used in high intensity games.
Thor?
Yeah,
I was fairly pleased with his game.
me too. He
I
just
think
be
eye test-
falling down.
Yeah, he does seem kind of frail from time to time, but I mean he was going in for challenges. He was making the press
He
happen.
looked really good second half.
Yeah.
He really looked like he wanted to make something happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like, you know what? They should have been feeding him. They should have been feeding that left side way more.
They were trying to, and in the first half, something that I noticed was that Big Sam on occasion would win the ball out of the air, bring it down, and like Thor was being covered by Davis, and so he turns and looks in the other direction, and who isn't making a run is Jared Stroud. It is nowhere to be found, and he's unsupported because Thor is undercover.
And who is making a run is Markanich.
Yeah.
And
it's
we
all down
need
the left
to
side.
let him cook more offensively.
I will say that first half Johnny Russell was kind of giving him the business
Yeah.
a little bit. And I just have to get one more piece of Ostrak slander in before he subs off at the beginning of the second half. This guy plays football so disgusting. I cannot watch him be on the field, watch him try to take on every single player instead of making easy passing options in the midfield. There was at least 2 times where he refused to pass to Vasilev and decided that he was going to take on as many SKC players as he could, try to dribble past, try to do a flick, and it never pays off.
Nope.
I do not want to see him play again unless it's off the bench and we're up 3-0. I do not want to see him play. He is vile to me at this point.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think-
maybe more vile than Stroud.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, yeah, we'll get into the subs. I guess now the first
Yeah.
of the subs. Tim Parker came off for Yarrow, and I think I saw him like kind of pull up like 5 minutes left in the first half. So I wonder if that's injury related.
Yara was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
looked good coming on.
He did look good.
He looked calm, cool, collected.
He's good in the air. He's fast as shit.
Yep, and then Leuven came on for Ostrak, and Klaus came on for Vasilev. So at that point, we were kind of playing a traditional 4-4-2 with Adeniran and Klaus up top, two big men strikers. What do you guys think?
You're really going to sub off the dude who's been the most like outspoken about the Kansas City rivalry, and you're going to leave Jared Stroud on? This was the opportunity to give Indy the right mid, right wing position, to let him cook, let him cut inside and bang, let him show his emotion in such a beautiful way, and you sub him off after getting that assist to Adeniran on his first? That's unbelievable.
You got to question you got to question it. And
Stroud and Ostrak both
Stroud must
look
have
the obvious.
Carnell's sex tape. I'm serious. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm getting pissed off just sitting here thinking about subbing Indy off in that situation.
Yeah. Because he's the one who recognizes it. He's the one who,
Hey,
after we beat Kansas City 4-0, he's sipping a citywide. Like, this is the guy who I feel like understands, like, St. Louis. I feel like he showed up and, like, became from St. Louis like that.
All I know is if we get come playoff time and Carnell's still on this fucking rotation bullshit, he's going to find out how quickly St. Louis fans will turn on you if you fuck up the playoffs.
I think
that will
but
be
at the same time,
crazy.
yeah, I think so.
No.
It is. I think
we need heavy hitters.
One big thing for St. Louis is to beat LAFC's expansion team win total, which is 16. I think that's big.
Couldn't we have
I think
tied
making it past the first round of the playoffs is going to be big. And I don't think that when it really comes time that Carnell is going to make any ridiculous rotations.
We always see the ridiculous rotations when there's a midweek game, which is the case these past
Couldn't we
few
have
games.
tied that last night against
The win
our
record?
biggest rivals?
I kind of do think so.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. Seems like a
we're at
really
15
good
wins.
time to start your best players.
Yeah.
Sounds like a really, really, really the only time really in your season is when you can make history and solidify the fact that this is not the soccer. It's not even in Missouri. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. They can be the soccer capital, but just so that we know what the soccer capital is, it's Kansas City, Kansas. So if I ever hear a motherfucker from Kansas City, Missouri talking about being the soccer capital of the United States, it doesn't even make sense. It's Kansas. We were in Kansas surrounded by an outlet mall.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly do think that full strength against Dallas is a better use of our full strength. If we're going to rotate one of the two games, I'd rather rotate against
Why?
KC. Because Dallas is a better team.
But they're not our rivals.
We have a better chance of beating Sporting KC with a rotated team than Dallas.
We have 100%
Carnell's
chance
giving
of
us-
beating Sporting KC with our
and
starting lineup.
like a 40% chance of beating Dallas.
So we would have beat
So we could
Sporting
give ourselves a
and
better
maybe
chance of getting 2
lost
wins
to
or
Dallas,
go
and then
all
we
in
would be in
and
the
win
same
1.
situation. One
Okay.
win and one loss,
Let each other speak.
right?
I do see.
Same situation.
I
No,
do see.
not really.
I see both sides, truthfully, because I agree Dallas probably is the better side. I will say without Jesus Ferreira, it is kind of they do seem a little more whatever. But I think it would have been a lot more competitive had their keeper not been sent off in the 12th minute, and it would have been even more vital for us to have been full strength, best lineup that we had. And
Certainly.
like, I think the bigger surprise is maybe no Klaus not playing 4-4-2. Like, I feel like I kind of expected Klaus to get his first start back in this game, and we would sub him off later down the line. We saw Gio warming up at halftime as well, which was a positive sign after we thought he was pretty badly
Since
injured.
when is it Carnell's MO to start our best side against good teams? Last time I checked, we actually normally start bad sides versus good teams. We started a bad side versus LAFC. We started a bad side versus the Sounders.
We started a
we
bad
actually-
side in Columbus.
Yeah, we usually actually start our good side against bad teams. That's just all I'm going to say. Really switching it up against our rivals away
I do agree
at the
that
end of the season.
I do agree that Carnell probably underplayed the rivalry situation, especially because seeing Ostrak in the starting lineup really deflated me and made me instantly nervous. I can't trust him.
It's just there's a disconnect there between the manager and the city.
And it's just never fun to I've been to all of the away games First Touch has went and visited.
Yeah, we've lost.
I'm 0-3-0.
Yeah.
LAFC was a midweek game as well.
Okay, Jonah, the point is, if you respect your fans and you respect the entire supporter section driving 3.5 hours to your rivalry away game, you put out your best side. That's
But
it.
wouldn't you say it's disrespectful to the players on the team to not trust them to play after playing like your rotation options? You're just never going to play them ever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stroud and Ostrak, really? Really?
Again, I do not think Stroud playing is like a rotation. He's pretty much he's been set in stone.
But they shouldn't be playing at the same time.
Well, that's a different question.
Yeah.
Hebert, right back?
Yeah, that's the questionable for me.
Yeah. Well, anyway, after those first 3 halftime subs, Leuven immediate impact, through ball, long ball to Jared Stroud. And this is one of those cases we were talking about that was ruled offside, which at the end of the day didn't really matter because
Stroud fluffs the chance.
Didn't finish the chance, even though it was 1-on-1 with the goalie.
And onside.
Yeah.
If he finishes it, then it's reviewed, and I promise you he's onside.
Yep.
But takes too many touches and blasts it into the keeper.
Yep. And then like 3 minutes later, Anthony Markinich tries a through ball as well to Sam Adeniran, and he pretty sure was onside. Did we look at that? That one was really close.
Was that when he was doing this to the ref?
No, I think that was off a foul. Yeah, Adeniran made like the "What are you smoking?" Yeah, "What are you smoking?" gesture at the ref. But no, this was a perfect through ball to Sam Adeniran, and he's through 1-on-1 with the goalie. He finishes it, of course, no doubt in my mind that he was going to, but they call that one offsides as well. And we saw another account on Twitter draw some lines on that chance, and it did not look offsides.
Motherfuckers on Twitter are trying to say, I don't think you understand perspective. And it's like, the field is a fucking rectangle.
It's a grid, bro.
Are you daft? It's a rectangle. You don't know. Did you take...
Are you daft, punk?
It's just, and so like you can literally, so the line was drawn against the lines that are cut into the field, and you can see SKC center back's shoulder looks to be holding him on sides. Who is it? Rosero looks to be fully on sides. The referee inside of the stadium, they put up the VAR checking for offsides on the big screen, but the ref did not go to the screen. He did not go to the screen. No lines were drawn. The MLS is a fucking recreational league without this technology.
Power trip refs. Just, they think, I don't know. They think they're good enough to make decisions. I just don't. At this point, what's the fucking point of having a ref? And what's the point of having VAR?
I think the way that they use VAR in the MLS is like, okay, this is a close call. Let's go look at it. If it's close, tie goes to the home field. That's just how it works in the MLS.
Or it's just the field on the decision on the field stands, and it's not going to be overturned because we can't figure it out because we don't know how to draw lines.
Yeah,
it's just disgusting. Ugh.
Yeah, and then in the 62nd minute, another St. Louis City sub, Rasmus Alm, comes on for Anthony Markinich, who I think was injured.
Yeah.
And at that point, we kind of switched to 3 center backs, with Jared Stroud, our like left wing back, and Alm, our right wing back, which is more natural for Hebert, and Yaro Nielsen are the other 2 as well.
I did feel like we were playing. I felt like we were playing 4-4-2 while Adeniran was still on, but then once Adeniran subbed off, that's when it kind of came 5 in the back.
That's what it was actually. Yeah.
I'm so mad.
Yeah, and
Stroud was definitely playing left back though at that point.
Yeah.
This, dude, Jonah, I love you. I respect your opinion. This game had to be a situation where you pull up, you put your best players out, you fucking shit stomp them, and you go on with your fucking day because that's what they are to us. They're a fucking blip in the road.
I mean, it's
true.
That's
what it should have been.
If we did want to rotate, we could have started them and then like subbed them off at half.
It's true.
After we build up a lead, assuming that we do.
Yeah.
It's pride. It's.
Yeah.
Right, after everything, and it's like you can't even say that Carnell didn't know Because the whole city knew. That everybody knows how much shit they were talking.
That's
how
what
much
makes it worse.
How much they're trying to just disregard the most historic trophy in U.S. history as if it's nothing. As if the city of St. Louis doesn't 5x all of their city's trophies in all sports. It's just disgusting. I hate.
Dude, this
KCK.
feeling that I have towards this fan base and this team is worse than I've felt towards the Cubs in a long time.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because the Cubs have just been shit for so long. But so's Casey, dude. It should have just been a shit stomp.
It should have been.
It should have been their fans leaving their stadium in the 60th minute because it's 5-0 and our fans are, dude.
I will say, from the 3 away matches that I've been at, I think that the response from the KC fans at the final whistle was the most belligerent and the most ignorant. Chicago was different because we were in with the supporters, and full-time whistle blows, and you look down on Soldier Field, and every single Chicago fan turns and looks up to us, and just both middle finger, an entire section just turned. Nashville was all right. They weren't particularly mad. That I think they knew that they were going to win that game.
The shit out of us.
And then this Kansas City one was, man, these guys were angry.
Wanting to attack us.
People in the section below us would just turn around and come up to us from below and just yell up at us what were they even yelling? I don't even remember.
The one guy who was doing it consistently, I think, was either hammered or had smoked literal crack
or
before
meth.
he came into the state. Because he just was
that part of the country.
In Kansas.
He was incoherent, and after he walked away, I was looking at the other KC fans, and they just put their they were like, "Well, I don't know, man.
I don't know what that guy's on."
I've also never seen a 12th place team celebrate. There was confetti, dude.
They did fucking confetti.
They fucking shot confetti after winning 2-1 at home in 12th place.
Fireworks, confetti.
The whole shebang.
Yeah.
The players were spraying their water bottles like champagne. It was crazy. It was a surreal moment.
Yeah.
It was surreal. And after being carried by the refs the whole game, how proud can you be?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
The
crazy.
refs were probably celebrating with them.
Yeah. Oh my God, I've never experienced anything like that.
The
the confetti really got me.
I also think that it's comical that Sporting will still go back to that 4-0 dismantling and say, "Oh, the referees." And it's like, dude, 4-0 and you're gonna blame the referees? That's not referee decision making. You got shafted.
Yeah. So
let's just keep slandering. No more.
No, yeah, let's keep
analysis.
slandering. We went into Nebraska furniture. Okay,
we got to talk about the double save by Berkey.
Oh, true.
Berkey put his heart and soul on the line
know.
this game and
Did.
got left fucking hanging.
It was just such a nice double save. He came out, he saved the first chance. KC players kept control of it, pass it back to, I think Saloy had both shots. And Berkey just came up huge. I mean,
he came out on the first.
And he was still out. I mean, they were
Still out.
passing it, and he was shadowing the ball. Hebert was on the goal line at that point, but it didn't matter because Berkey saved it.
Disgusting save. He had a disgusting free kick
This man
save
has said
too.
disgusting at least 12 times this episode.
Yeah. Let me pull up my pocket thesaurus.
But in different ways.
Yeah.
Discussing good,
Discussing
discussing
good,
bad, discussing hatred.
Hatred.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Berkey has been getting left out to dry lately.
Berkey is the best goalkeeper in the MLS, and nobody can tell me anything different.
Agreed.
Yep. So then last sub of
done
the
with our
game
shit.
was
He's like, get me out of this
ACL.
episode.
Let's wrap this up.
Aziel Jackson on for Sam Adeniran. And at that point, we definitely switched to a 5 at the back.
Yep.
With our 3 center mids, and Klaus up top.
Yep. Final St. Louis potential chance of the game was a corner kick, probably 90th minute plus 3, I want to say. Leuven walks over. Or I would say he gets over to the corner pretty quickly. And we see Roman Berkey making his way up.
Yeah.
And I'm
having
sure
Liverpool flashbacks.
I'm sure that they saw him on his way up, but the decision was to take the corner short, and AZ Jackson puts it over everyone, and it comes to nothing. That was our final, even remotely close chance of the game, we did it. We were doing it against Dallas too. I don't know why we're taking short corners.
When we score headers,
like we think that we're Manchester City. Just whip that in, man.
We have like one of the best records of set piece goals in the.
Why take it short?
And then after they do take it short, you see Berkey getting back to goal, but also berating Leuven.
Yeah,
screaming at him.
Towards the end of the game,
everybody's screaming at him.
You could tell that Leuven wanted the ball and he wanted to be the difference maker. He was like trying to be everywhere, and he was kind of getting in the way from time to time of other players, which I mean is commendable up to a point where it's like starting to degrade the offense.
That's why he needs more time to cook.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't have the time, then he tries to force it, and then you end up with a Chicago situation where he's just being a little baby the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, guess that's just one you got to shake off, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's one you wish you had a time machine for, and you could go back and maybe make Carnell disappear for a day.
That sounds threatening.
No, not like that.
What do you mean by that?
Don't let him pick
like
that
kidnap him and put him in your
lineup
basement
again.
for a day?
Yeah.
Nice. Just no more Ostrak at Cam, man. It is
just
despicable.
sell the man. We had high expectations, but it's not even
I think he's
close.
valuable off the bench. When he's running on against tired legs, I think he can positively
not
impact.
at the 10.
Yeah. What'd you guys think about our wingback situation with Alm and Stroud? I thought Stroud looked good. He looked like
I feel
like he could actually he wasn't responsible for the final third production.
He's more built to be a defender than a fucking winger.
Especially a wingback where their job is to just run up and down constantly.
I'm always going to be fearful that when it comes time to 1v1 defend, that he's just going to give away a penalty. He's going to give away a bad foul in a dangerous position.
A 1v1 defending situation in the box with Jared Stroud is absolutely nightmare fuel.
Oh.
But
dude, all I know is we haven't even gotten to the playoffs yet. I'm already thinking about next season.
Yeah.
We're going to make this team so much better. Anyway,
it's going to be so good.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. At the end of the day, it is still our first season, and we're making strides to make this team great.
I know the management, the ownership, they're cooking something.
They are. And it's just like the thing is that we're in the here and now, and we want the good performances all the time. But we know that it's a growth mindset club, and that we're making these Moneyball decisions to grow the club and expand in the future and develop players and do all this great stuff. So I'm not worried about
it's just
too much at the end of the day.
As my father would say, it's frustrating because when you have the capability, you have the responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And Carnell had the capability and the responsibility to put those little slimy fuckers in their places.
Damn, you like the modern day Socrates.
Soccer teams.
Yeah, you feel me? Word.
Shout out Lil Wayne.
So coming up next, we are going. I mean, I don't really have anything else for this game.
Yeah, who are we playing next?
Well, the Galaxy.
Oh man, we gotta
Ricky Pooge.
get a revenge match against them.
Yeah, after drawing against them at home was.
Yeah, we are playing at LA.
Pretty sickening.
Yeah, it would have been a real good morale boost to beat the shit out of KC before going on the road to LA.
Hey, you know what's good though? Douglas Costa and Chicharito both hurt.
I hope
good for us.
Ricky Pooge has a great rest of his life.
I hope he stays hydrated.
Yes. I hope his ligaments stay intact.
I hope he has a
their recent form is pretty decent. You know who they didn't have the last time we played them is former Southampton Japan international Maya Yoshida. He signed for the club, I think, shortly after our game against LA Galaxy. So he'll be fairly formidable to come up against for Klaus / Adeniran. It'll be interesting to see him back in action.
They are 13th in the West.
So what's our next few? Like, what does our road to the playoff look like? How many away games?
I know the next 2, I think, are away games.
Yeah, I'm not here for it, Jonah. This was a perfect time to spark a fire of momentum into an away stretch.
LA Galaxy away, Houston away, LAFC at home, Minnesota in Minnesota, which that's September 23rd. It could be pretty chilly up there by then.
It
They
get
have
cold in
Timu
Minnesota.
Oh, Yachty.
Dang, we're just on a roll today.
Wait,
Is this a hip hop podcast?
Minnesota.
wait. Did you guys know that we played SKC 3 times in the regular
I
season?
did know that.
I did not
Is
know
it
that
at
until
home?
right now.
Again?
It is at home.
Hee hee.
So
Dang, we're going to that.
okay, so
Yeah.
so shit. Like whatever.
on me.
We're
We can
we're
still
about
do
to-
the double.
We're gonna beat the hell out of them. Best of 3 their ass.
second attempt at the double.
Let's go.
That's so
Get
weird
the
though.
confetti ready.
Well,
I
we
wonder-
don't play every team twice. Or I don't even know if we play every team.
But like, why not in the West? Why don't we play all the Western teams twice? Why are we playing
Shout out to the script
KC
writers.
3 times? Oh me, the script
Yeah.
coming together.
Oh me.
Oh,
we haven't played like DC United or like New England. I don't think we have them at
Yeah.
all on the
Nope.
agenda.
nope.
Yeah.
But
Very
like,
weird.
it's all Eastern team. I'm talking about like why don't we
West.
play
Yeah.
home and away in the West for everything? And why KC 3
Because
times?
it's a joke. It's a joke.
It's fucking
league.
this is rec league soccer,
Yes.
man. Is it even better than Veta? Truthfully,
Yes.
yeah, you're probably right.
We have 3 teams in our league.
And we're one of them.
Didn't Garrett ask Leuven when he saw him at the restaurant if he
pull
could come
up for the
play
game.
for us? He was like, no. He was like, why would I waste my time?
Yeah, why would I let some 40-year-old beer belly
Hurt
man
me.
break my ankle?
Could you imagine having him ripping shots, though, at the Veta
He'd
goalkeepers?
kill the keeper.
He would, yeah.
Break a neck.
Yeah, break a hand.
God.
It's true.
If only we could draft him to our team.
Dang.
Expansion draft Veta.
Okay, this has gone off the fucking rail.
Let's use one of our designated.
Yeah, LA Galaxy next Sunday at 7 p.m. should be a good game.
Sunday?
Sunday
Weird.
game.
This Sunday? Not
Uh,
today, obviously.
Right, a week from today.
It's been a long
24
weekend.
hours.
It has
turnaround.
been. Well, it was only one day. It was just a long day. But
We have tomorrow off, so enjoy Labor Day, guys.
No, we don't.
yeah, take a nice
off
Labor
work,
Day.
yeah, but we do have a Premier League pod tomorrow.
Yeah, the rest. There's no rest for us at
The
First
wicked.
Touch Media.
the
We're
wicked.
constantly working.
As long as I'm wishing.
We're
ill on
constantly
people's
looking for
ligaments.
new ways to monetize. I'm gonna post my Venmo after this episode if you guys want to help donate to
reimburse
First Touch
our
Media.
our away ticket loss.
Hopefully, we did do a Sporting Kansas City interview video that will be coming out soon as well. So
This
be
is
on the
going to be the
lookout.
best video yet, just as a heads up.
It's gonna be a really good one.
And
we got
also,
some good stuff planned. We did
We
some
were
cool stuff.
nice to the KC folks this weekend. So when they come
Mostly.
to St. Louis, expect a scathing interview sequence.
Yeah, I'm about to put a ski mask on and just jump them all.
Okay, we're ending the episode
Ah,
now.
just
Thanks
kidding,
for
it's a
having
joke,
in.
it's a joke, it's a joke.
Love you guys. Peace out.
Just kidding.
Thank you for watching this episode of Soul of the City, brought to you by First Touch Media and Anchor FM. Make sure to check us out on YouTube at First Touch Media, and all of our socials are at First Touch 314. Thank you for watching.